We're moving on.
Moving on.
Today is Wednesday, June 9th.
Yes.
It's Tuesday. I was going to play a trick on Jimmy and turn the air off today.
Oh, that would have
When I got up this morning, I thought, because look, there's a nice breeze going on out there.
Yeah. A breeze of 89 degree heat.
It's a hot breeze. It definitely is. But I had a lot of running to do this morning, and so I did, or yesterday. I did a lot of running, and I thought, well, I'll just leave the air on because Jim hadn't gone to work yet. And I thought, well, he'll like this. When I got home, I'm glad I left it on.
See?
But
Yep. So.
Couldn't find the picture with Jimmy's thing.
Cut today at work.
Oh my gosh.
It's not as bad. It's just dried up blood. I'm putting the hooks up on a wall, and I came down and was like, and I looked at the guy I was working with, and I go, you know what's sad? He goes, what? I go, we've been doing this so long, and we've been in the weather for 30 years that our skin is so conditioned that we should be slicing ourselves open, but the skin's like, we'll just give you a scratch on that.
That's true. That's so true. But.
And then Sunday, your favorite son clocked me with a golf ball right there.
I heard about that.
Oh.
Danny didn't say anything. You just said you didn't get out of the way.
I know. He parked the golf cart and he had a shot like right next to a pine tree.
Does he have an air conditioner or like a little fan in his car?
He looks like, I'm not even going to say it. He didn't have it this week because I think he knew I'd make fun of him.
Oh, okay.
But he's got a little fan that he missed. So I'm like, excuse me, princess. Because
he's got a heater when it's too cold.
No, but he's got the bottle with the fan on it where it blows the misty water. And I'm like, excuse me, princess. So he didn't bring it this time. But he hit the ball behind a pine tree, or next to a pine tree.
Okay.
And mine went up and over the pine tree, so I was on the other side of the pine tree.
Okay.
So I went to go hit mine, and I had the wrong club. So I'm like, well, I'll walk around and get it. Well, I started walking, and I stopped, and I'm like, well, I don't know if he's hitting yet, so I don't want to walk out into the middle of the fairway and get hit with the ball. So what does he do? He toes it, misses it like completely, like hits it on the edge. Somehow it goes completely through the pine tree, doesn't hit one branch, and I look and I just see a ball come out, and
he didn't even yell for.
Oh no, he didn't even know I was standing there, and then it hit me because we were only 10 feet away, the width of a pine tree, and it hit me and it went sideways, and he's like, "How the hell did my ball go that way?" And I called him everything, but you know what? And he's like, "Did that hit you?" And I look at you can't tell now, but it was swollen out to here, and I'm like, "Yeah." It's like,
gotta fix this. Completely in there. There we go.
So then he goes, well, I didn't hear you scream or nothing. I said, because I'm a man.
I don't have a little misty fan.
Exactly. I should have said that. I don't have a misty fan.
Anyway, I've got invited to I don't know how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 graduation parties and 2 birthday parties this month.
And you didn't say the 2 birthday parties.
Well, Sebastian or Oliver's and Sophia's.
No, okay.
Which are still going to cost me money because you got to give them a gift.
Well, yeah.
You got to pay their gift. Jimmy showed me a good video. Tell him about it.
It is. It's basically a video about me.
It is.
It's the guy.
What's the name of it?
Can you just put the link on it?
Yeah, I'll put the link down below.
It is.
It is Jimmy. It's Jimmy at a party. It's all wrapped up into one. It's Jimmy at a party.
Yes.
That's definitely.
Not that I don't have fun, and I'm like, but you know how sometimes you just don't want to be at certain parties.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, I'm going to show up. I'll do the, and then get out of here. But
yeah, because Jim will say that. He'll say, "Do we really need to go?" Yeah.
We still use that. We're going to use it in front of you now that I'm telling you, just so I can make you laugh. But remember 4 Christmases? With Vince Vaughn, he's like, if everything gets uncomfortable, just say mistletoe. So we'll still say, hey, mistletoe. And I'll be, all right, it's time to go.
No, your dad will just say, you ready? That's his cue. He's ready to go. It's not like, give you 5 minutes, we're going to go. He'll just stand up and he'll have everything all ready. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, he does too. Like, we're out of here.
We're out of here.
I don't care what anybody thinks.
Yeah, you're in the middle of a conversation. We're out of here.
Yep.
That's your dad.
Oh
well.
So when are we doing Sophia's party?
We're doing her birthday on the 18th, or the 17th, because her birthday's on the 18th. And then we're doing Sebastian, or I keep saying Sebastian. We're doing Oliver's birthday on the 24th because his birthday's the 25th.
And then the 26th, party.
Is my 50th party, 50th anniversary party. Who's that? Ooh, I don't know who that could be.
What?
It could be anybody. We'll be right back. It's your dad.
Be back now.
Yeah, we're back. That was his daddy. Giving him a hard time about our cupboards.
Yep. And it's funny because...
I'm surprised you didn't bring up about the basement. The ceiling.
Oh, I keep forgetting about that. But it is funny because Samantha will say, I can tell you every time you're talking to your mom, and I can tell you every time you're talking to your dad. Because I will start talking like dad when he calls.
Oh, really?
Like subconsciously, I'll be like, hello, or whatever, like, and then she goes,
or how does he say goodbye? Bye.
Bye. And then when I'm talking to you, she says, you always call your mom, but when you're talking to her on the phone, it's mother.
Yes. That's true.
I don't know why.
Mother, what are you doing?
Yes, I don't know why.
I think because he wants to follow it with another adjective.
No, I would never. I don't use language like that.
No, never. But anyway, so I didn't put the picture of Jimmy with his birthmark last week because I don't have that picture on the wall anymore. So.
Well, you got to have it somewhere.
Probably in one of my books. One
Well,
day.
where do you put the pictures when you swap them out?
Sometimes I just leave them behind, but I didn't feel like taking the pictures down off the wall.
What?
Like I just put the other picture on top of it.
Oh, I got you.
Type of thing. But anyway.
Yeah, it's been a boring week, other than getting sliced and hit in the same week. But I do have a funny story.
Oh, okay.
So last week I was emailing back and forth with the surveyor for the house to get the property lines.
I was going to ask you how that's going. Yeah.
So the lady emailed me back and said it's going to be 8 weeks, and you can't get a permit for anything without this.
Right.
So now we're in August before getting a permit. I'm like, oh, that ain't gonna
This is
work.
for the basement?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then I called my friend Art, and it turns out that his daughter does it.
Okay.
Same thing. We're
Who you know. It's not what you know.
Exactly.
It's who you know.
So she calls me back and says, I can get it to you in 4 weeks, maybe 3, since Art, I might be able to squeeze you in.
Right.
I go, perfect. So we're just emailing back and forth what we need to do beforehand. And she said, we're going to give you the property line, where the house goes, the grading for drainage, and your other garage you're building. And I asked her, I'm like, well, there's a certain spot that I want the house,
Right.
like angled, it's not going to be straight a certain way. Do I go out there with you and mark that so I can tell you?
Why aren't you going to do it straight?
Well, because if you remember the way the cul-de-sac is,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
it would be weird. You'd
Yeah.
be looking at the side and the front.
Yeah.
So, plus it's more private because you're
Right.
turning. So she said, no, normally we like to know like where the house is going. She goes, here, I'll email you a satellite view of your property. Mark where you want your house. So I'm like, now you want me to mark where my house is going from space? No, that's not working. So I kind of like, now I have no clue how to draw on an email because I'm like not
I don't know how to
at
do that
all
either.
savvy like
No.
that. So I get home and I'm like, Jamie. She goes, when I go, how do I draw on this email? And she's like, oh, and she's blah, 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 blah. Here, start drawing. And I'm like, so I draw it, and it looks, I'm normally a good drawer.
He is.
And it looked like a 2-year-old got a hold of an iPad. And I'm like, that ain't going to work. So I emailed her back, and I'm like, is there any way if I went out and just staked out where the house goes, that way you know,
Right.
is that fine? That's fine. I go, okay. Samantha, Saturday, we're going to stake the house. So it's like 12 o'clock, and I almost felt like Dad a little bit. I go, you ready? And she goes, Jim, it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 105 degrees outside. We are not going in the blazing sun tomorrow. Can we wait till this evening maybe when it's cooler? And I'm like, I guess, So then we wait till about 6:37. And we went out there and we marked it up where we wanted it, where we thought we wanted it first. And then we stepped in the road, and it was like, remember when you were looking at it?
Right.
It was like the house was shifted all the way to the right for
Oh,
some
okay.
reason. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's not going to work. So then we got to move the stakes again. And we're measuring
Yeah.
through trees and everything too.
Right.
So then Samantha goes and
Well, why
stands.
didn't you take all the trees down yet?
Well, originally we were going to keep that group of trees and put the
Oh,
house
okay.
back, but then
Yeah.
we measured, and our driveway would have ended up being 300 feet.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, no. So then we go to the back corner. I'm like, well, let's establish the back corner and where the patio is That way we know the view from the patio,
Right.
and then we can go from there. She goes, okay. So we stand in the corner. She goes, okay, so I'm standing in the kitchen, right? And I go, no, you're standing in the master bath. Okay, I can't see it because she can't see in 3D at all.
I can't see that either.
So she's like, okay. So we move it around, and she goes, well, where's the patio? So I give her the tape measure, and she walks, and I go, okay, you're in the center of the patio. Well, she just happened to be looking at a tree. So now we got to move it all again, move this. And it's not small. It's like,
Right.
because you got to mark out.
But it's better that you're staking it out.
No, I know. So, because it's like 80 by 60 that we're moving every time. So it's not like, and you're walking, and as she says, I'm only 5 foot. You take 3 steps and you're like, how far ahead? And I'm walking, I got branches hitting me in the you know what, and and so we were laughing. So I get it moved, and she stands in the corner, and she goes, okay, am I at the door wall? I go, you're in the master bath. It's the corner. It's the same corner. It never changes. And she starts laughing. She goes, okay, well, where's the patio? So I give her the tape measure again, and she goes, that's where I want it to be. And I go, okay, so we're good with the back. So then we measured everything out. And then we went to the front to look at it. Well, now the front of the house is 10 feet off the property line. And I'm like, well, that ain't going to work. So we kept it in the same spot, moved it back. And now we have the house where it goes.
There you go.
So everybody's happy. But it was just funny every time because like 3 or 4 times she went back to that corner, and every time it was something else. It was like by the kitchen.
I would have lost all patience with you at that point.
No, because that's what I told her, and every time she would say, "I know, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make you mad," and I'm like, "I'll stay out here and do this all day. I love doing this stuff.
No.
That's Mom. I'd come out here all day building stuff and doing stuff. It doesn't bother me at all."
That's not for me. Not for me at all.
Yep. And then I want a winding driveway, which that's our only disagreement. She's like, "Come on now."
Why do you want a windy one?
I don't know. I don't want a straight driveway. Anyone can have a straight driveway. I want like a. We are not doing that. So
No,
we're not doing that.
You come home one night and it's like you're going the wrong way to go into the garage.
I don't get drunk. I get drunk at home.
Yeah. I don't get drunk.
Although I could tell a story about when I got drunk at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday on accident.
How does anybody get drunk by
It
accident?
wasn't. If you don't believe me, you can ask Samantha. So it was like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, and I haven't cut the lawn because it was raining, so I had to cut it. So of course, you know how it is after it rains. It's hot and humid. So I start cutting the lawn, and I open the fridge. There's no water, no pop, no juice, nothing but beer in there. So I'm like, well, who cares? I'll have one beer, So, when you're hot, beer just... So that beer's gone, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, I'll open another one just to sip on.
Yeah.
So I have something to drink. So I sip on that, and I start cutting. Well, I'm not, like, paying attention to how many I'm drinking. So I have, like, 8 beers in an hour.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so now I'm done with the lawn, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm just going to slam one more because, like, cottonmouth.
Yeah.
So I slam it, and that didn't do it. Slam another. So I ended up with, like, a 12-pack in an hour and 10 minutes. I come walking in the house, and Samantha's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I think I'm drunk. And she's like, it's 8:30 in the morning. I go, I didn't mean to do this, but I got to go lay down.
Oh. The only time I ever got drunk was one time after we had inventory at Montgomery Ward's, and we went to the bar, and we didn't get there till like almost 1 o'clock. And when I was drinking at the time, I love vodka, but I like it straight.
Yeah,
so
I don't know how you drink that.
I would ask for a double shot of vodka, and then I asked for my orange juice on the side. Well, the girl misunderstood me, and so she gave me my double shot of vodka, but then she'd give me a screwdriver on the side. And I didn't, I don't, because really, vodka doesn't really have much of a taste, really.
No.
So I had probably 3 rounds before they had closing at 2:30, and then at 2 o'clock.
You had 6 shots and 3.
2, 3, 6, 9 shots. 9 shots, yeah. And then just before the 2 o'clock, last call, I ordered 2 more drinks because I wanted to, because you could stay there until 2:30. And the thing is, even though I was drunk, I didn't stagger or anything like that, but I knew that I was drunk. I just knew I was drunk. And then we went out to breakfast, and I ordered, and I told this story before, I ordered everything on the breakfast menu. And then there was this one guy that was really shy, and I was pretending like I was with him. And I told him to put it on his bill. And so I got all this food. I got eggs and bacon and pancakes and sausage and French toast. And I couldn't eat any of it. I mean, because I would have been sick. And then I had to be back to work at 7 o'clock the next morning. And by the time I got home, it was like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So when I woke up, I was still drunk. But I went to work, and I never got sick. And then probably his name was Pat, and about 10:30, Pat came up to me, and he says, "Did you have a good time last night?" And I go, "Yeah, pretty good time. I don't remember much, but I had a pretty good time." He says, "Oh, by the way, you owe me $37.83. And I go, "For what?" He said, "For your breakfast bar."
So you just left without paying?
No, because I left it on his bill, and he was just such a nice guy. He didn't want to cause a scene.
Oh, I gotcha.
You know, because I kept saying, "Put it on my guy's bill. Put it on my guy's bill." And I kept doing that.
Which one was Pat?
Pat was a really good-looking guy. He lived up in Port Huron. He always wore that plaid shirt and blue jeans. Always wore like a short sleeve.
And he worked in your department?
No, he was on the dock. He was one of him and Ed Rogers.
I remember Ed Rogers. I don't remember Pat for some reason.
Yeah, I can't even think of what his last name was. But anyway, he lived in Port Huron, and he used to come down all the time to work at Ward's.
Who was the one that
He was like he could have been a model. He had like a really, I thought he was like a pretty face. I mean,
right.
He was like, you don't tell a man he's got a pretty face. But I mean, he was gorgeous.
Who was the one that ended up on Jerry Springer?
Oh, that was
girl?
Kathy.
Kathy, yes.
She was on.
Everyone was calling, "Turn on Jerry Springer." We're like, no.
We knew that was going to be her. And then we used to do they called it a putting on the hits, and we used to do that for our Employee Appreciation Week. And then we would
lip sync.
I wish I could. Yeah, we would lip sync. Danny did the YMCA, and he did a Garth Brooks song one time.
No, I did the YMCA.
Danny did too.
Oh, yeah,
remember
he
had
did do it. Yeah, he did do
back
it.
when the baseball jerseys were in style.
Yeah.
And he had that.
And he did MC Hammer.
MC Hammer, yeah, he did
Too
that
Legit
one too.
to Quit.
Too Legit to Quit. But I can't find those tapes. I know they're somewhere in the house, but we can't find them. But anyway, so every year we used to do that. We did it every single year. And then the one year, this Kathy, which I won't say her last name, that was on Jerry Springer, she went up there with her boyfriend, because she was married and she had like 5 kids.
Right.
But she went up there with, nobody was supposed to know that was her boyfriend, but everybody knew it was her boyfriend. And she's saying, "Oh, you can like when you take your hat off, you can wear your hat, or you can take your hat off."
It was Joe Cocker, I remember.
Yeah.
That.
Oh my God, you would have thought we were at a strip club.
Yeah.
You would have thought we were at a strip club. And the thing is, like, they played that in the Electric Avenue, which is where they sold all the TVs. They had it like on all the screens so that when the customers came in, they could see us. And the store manager wasn't there for the performance.
No, they weren't.
And nobody said anything, and everybody would go over there to Electric Avenue about like 20 minutes from now, because her little part will be on there. He pulled it down, and that was the last thing we ever did.
I was going to say that was the last time.
He would never let us do that again. So she ruined it for us.
She did.
But it was very provocative.
It was just a little bit.
She took off her hat. I mean, she took a
lot of stuff off.
Took a lot of stuff off. She left clothes on, but I mean, it was like, this is a family store.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep.
So, anyway, we had some really good characters that worked there.
Yep. They had
Nilu. She would steal, because back then as soon as you approached a customer, it would be your customer, and she'd say, "Can I help you? Can I help you?" She had to touch them. Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? I'll be right with you. I'll be right with you. And so then she'd say, "My customer, my customer, my customer," and so the other ones couldn't wait on her, and they worked on commission.
Oh yeah, she was in the furniture, right?
No, she was in appliances.
Oh,
and then remember when Uncle Don went to work with her? Oh, they were battling. Mary's husband.
Battling. That was fun.
They got called up to the store manager's office
did.
more than once.
Because, Don wasn't wrong.
He wasn't wrong, no, because Don was trying to make a sale on that, and she
Don
came over
is
and
a
she
good
said,
salesman.
He's an excellent salesman.
He is an excellent salesman.
He's an excellent salesman. He doesn't work anymore, but I mean, he really
No,
was
but
really
I remember
good.
watching him like, what the? I would never get that person. Like, they'd be coming in for like just a washer. It's like, I can get you a washer, a dryer, and a microwave, and they're leaving with it.
And
like,
yeah, he would. And he would, like, somebody would say, "Well, I don't know if I really want to buy that tractor." Because it would have to be put together. Where do you live? I'll come over and put it together for you. I won't charge you or nothing. Because he's going to make enough of a commission
Exactly.
on it. And then when he got there, half the time they paid him anything anyhow.
Right.
Because you put it together for him. Anything he would, you don't have I have a truck. I'll save you some money from having the delivery. He was an excellent, but the two of them.
Yeah, they did.
They went crazy. It was fun to watch.
I was gonna say it was fun to watch.
fun to watch.
Because they would yell.
Because
like in the
my
store.
my department was like 4 departments over.
Mine was next to them, so I always got
Yeah.
to like I was eye shot every time, so I could see it happening. But you
Oh.
were farther away.
Reminds me of a Montgomery Ward story with.
No.
You don't want me to tell it?
No.
It was a bad one.
It's a bad one, but
Yeah.
no.
He did something, and my mother just said when I got to the house, she said to my sisters, because Jimmy was there, and she just said to my sisters, take your sister in the house and lock the door. Don't let her out. It was bad.
It was bad.
Yeah. But anyway. Oh, and then we had that one girl that she never wanted to leave the floor to go to the bathroom, so she would put stuff around her like the
What?
Carol, and she'd lean over, she'd squat over the garbage barrel.
I don't remember that.
She used to do that. It was awful. She was awful. She was like a pig.
What was next to me? I remember that I was in
You were in the paint department.
and then it was sporting goods across from me. But what was like if you were standing behind the counter to the left? There was something there. The
Oh,
doors.
that was
But what
yeah.
was it?
Well, across was the package pickup,
Yeah.
and that was just like little
Was that
appliances,
clearance
like
or
little
something?
appliances, like mixers and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that. The little small appliances,
Because I remember that's how I would get.
because that was part of the paint department.
Yeah, because they'd come over and they'd
Yeah.
go, I would like
Do you have any more hand
I would like a
mixers?
mixer. I'm like, I'm in paint. That's not my department. And they'd
Well,
walk
it
around.
was.
They'd walk around looking for
And it
people.
was his department.
Can you help me with this? No, that's not my department. That was the best one. Was
Christy, I think Christy's the only one that didn't work at Ward's, because Danny did.
Danny did. He was
Yeah.
in the dock.
Yeah, he worked on the dock.
Well, Dad didn't, but you know.
Oh, your dad worked in the paint department.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He
He
had a
did.
second job. He worked in the paint department.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
He used to work with Kathy Morello.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, she'd always try to sell Snow White paint. Don't get ceiling paint, get Snow White paint. So Jim always called her Snow White, because that's all she ever sold was Snow White paint. And then when Montgomery Ward's went out of business, she went to Penny's, but she was in the furniture department. So he says she can't sell any white paint over here.
Nope.
She probably sell white painted furniture.
Yeah, I do remember with because you have to remember I was what 16,
Yeah.
17, so it's like
One of
you
his
don't
many
you
early
don't
jobs.
care about the job.
You did. I think that was one of the ones you stayed at one of the longest.
No, I did stay there a pretty long time, but I still didn't. It wasn't like this is my career. I'm going to care,
Right.
you know. So people would be like, I don't know which one I should cut. You know, and they, you know how people
Yeah.
do. Like, which one do you think? And I'd look at it and go, lady, what do you want? I just pick it. I'm not picking your paint. It's not my job.
He didn't last long, but
like
he was
how
there.
like how they kept me there because everyone else
They
that
kept
did,
you there because they liked me.
No, I'm saying in that department because anybody else, because I remember 2 or 3 people coming in saying, I don't like it here. And they, oh, okay. And they moved to a different department. I asked multiple times, I'm like, I don't want to do this. I want to move.
I kept saying, leave them there.
Probably
Leave
because
them there.
at that point it was a sport. Like, what color do you like? He likes this. I like this. Well, you know, automatically everyone should say it's what the woman likes. So
Right.
I look at it and go, nah, I like that one. Just to get them going. You know?
Yeah. Jimmy always, Jimmy's Jimmy. So,
Fun.
look how long we've been.
Oh.
This is a long video.
This is, but it was fun.
It was fun. I always have fun with you.
So do I.
Thank you.
I have fun with you too.
All right. That's it for us for this week.
That's
If
it.
you have any subjects, Jimmy will never divulge what he did, and I never
No.
will either.
Nope.
But if you have any questions about anything or anything you want us to talk about,
Yep. I'll talk about anything. No matter.
not anything. We've clearly made the
Well,
point.
I'll
not
talk about anything but that. And that literally, that's the only thing off limits.
No, there's a lot of things we could talk about.
But that's the only one off limits.
Okay, so if you're new to our channel, please subscribe,
Like
comment.
and share.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys next week.